So anybody know that this? My friend came to this event earlier today. Anybody know his name? Rowdy. I like that. We're gonna get rowdy tonight. That's good. Thank you. Good to see you again. So listen, anybody watch those debates that we had? The third debate. Anybody see that? Speak some truth. That's what we're going to do. Speak the truth. And I got to say, I'm going to call out the truth with the Democratic Party. Okay, we're going to have Hunter Biden getting a $5 million bribe from Ukraine, and then we send over $200 billion to that same country. They sold off our foreign policy to make their family rich. I said this long before, now they're coming along to see it. I'm going to make another one tonight. You mark my words, all right? Another 2 months or so, you're going to see it. Joe Biden will not be the nominee for the Democratic Party. He's a hollowed-out husk. He's not really the president, so you mark my words on this. Give it a couple months, maybe 3 months, probably more like 2 months. They're going to use his mental incompetence or whatever. So I'm going to call out the hypocrisies of the Democratic Party. But we'll call out the hypocrisies of the media. I mean, you look at who the Republican Party put up to moderate that debate. Here's a woman who's been pushing the Trump-Russia collusion hoax for years with no accountability, claiming the Hunter Biden laptop story was false, for years with zero accountability. I told her to her face, you want to look at the people in the country and look them in the eye and tell them, was it real or was it fake? She basically answered the question, despite the fact that she didn't really, you could see it. You could see it. But let me tell you guys something else. This is the part where the Republican Party will tell me, stop right there. You had it right there. And then you went off the rails. Well, you know what? I can't call out the Democratic Party. I can't call out the mainstream media and do it honestly if we're not also calling out the failures and the corruption in the Republican Party itself. It's got to be speak the truth. It's got to be speak the truth 360 degrees, all right? Ronna McDaniel takes over. Fire Ronna. It's fireronna.com. We made the website, actually. If you guys don't know who she is, all the better for you. You have no reason to know anyway. This woman takes over in 2017 as chairwoman of the RNC. 2018, 2020, 2022, 2023, a disaster. That's a football team you'd have been fired after the second season. In this case, she gets a 3x salary increase. Unbelievable. Only in the Republican Party could you be so boneheaded. And part of the problem is we become lazy as a party. Let's get very serious here, okay? So the 2022 red wave that never came. That's what pulled me into this race. I was a businessman, building businesses, raising 2 sons. My wife is a surgeon at Ohio State. She's one of the best at what she does in throat surgery. She's a hero. She'll come here on the campaign trail. One of those she's out here, she's operating on people today. No bucks, I like that. We're lucky to have her. And I'm lucky to have her. I am. And we're lucky to be blessed with the life that this country gave us. My parents would have never imagined this when they came to this country with no money 40 years ago. That we live with frankly, the level of blessing and comfort and security this country has given us. That's the American dream. I wasn't going to enter this dirty world of partisan politics, but then I see the red wave that never comes. I look at a Republican Party that for a long time has been lazy, pointing to the other side. The radical Biden agenda. I don't sit here criticizing Joe Biden. He's not even the president of the United States. He's a puppet for the deeper cancer, right? See, for a long time, I mean, the left has been, and I wrote Woke Inc., I've been criticizing race, gender, sexuality, climate. We can sit here criticizing these things. But we only win if we're actually going to talk about what we actually stand for. Individual, family, nation, God. That beats race, gender, sexuality, and climate if we have the courage to actually stand for something. See, for a long time, we in the Republican Party, we have been running from something. Now is our moment to actually start running to something. To our vision of what it means to be an American today. See, I'm an America First conservative. I don't apologize for that. But to put this country first, we have to rediscover what this country is. Ask somebody my age that question. I'm 38. I'm the youngest person ever to run for U.S. president as a Republican, okay? You ask somebody my age that question. Thank you. I appreciate that. It takes somebody with fresh legs. It's going to take somebody from the next generation to get this right. Thomas Jefferson, by the way, 33, when he wrote the Declaration of Independence. There's a reason why. It takes somebody whose best days in life are still ahead to see a country whose best days can still be ahead of itself. I believe that. You ask people my age now, though, what does it mean to be an American? You get a blank stare and respond. It's like a deer in headlights. What does it mean to be American? To me, it means we believe in the ideals of the American Revolution. Ideals like meritocracy and the pursuit of excellence. That you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contribution. That's why we're in affirmative action and race-based quotas in every area of American life. It's a cancer and we're done with it. What does it mean to be an American? It means we believe in the rule of law. I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. That is why we will use our own military to secure our own southern border and our northern border too. That's what it means to stand for the rule of law in the United States of America. What does it mean to be American? It means the people who we elect to run the government ought to be the ones who actually run the government. Not the deep state, the shadow government, the three-letter agencies that run the show today. You want to drain the swamp? I'll tell you how. If I can't work for you all for more than 8 years as your next president, which I think is a good thing, then neither should any of those federal bureaucrats reporting into me either. 8-year term limits for the bureaucracy instead of civil service protection. That's how you cut the swamp. Shut down government agencies that should not exist. The FBI, to the ATF, to the IRS, to the CDC, to the U.S. Department of Education. We're going to shut them down. That's how you revive the integrity of a constitutional republic. 75% reduction in the number of federal bureaucrats. Time to get a CEO in the White House. If somebody works for you and you can't fire them, that means they don't work for you. Oh, absolutely. I'm talking about zero-based budgeting. That's what I'm talking about. Is don't use last year's budget as the baseline. Start with zero as the baseline and then ask what's actually necessary. That's how you fight the national debt. Time we get a CEO from the next generation to actually do it. By the way, here's a radical idea. What does it mean to be American? It means we believe that every person's voice and vote counts equally in a constitutional republic. That means we need elections that we can trust, that we can actually believe in. It's not that hard, folks. Single-day voting on election day as a national holiday with paper ballots and government-issued ID to match the voter file. I'm sorry, that's not racist. That's not xenophobic. It's common sense. It's not controversial. These aren't black ideas or white ideas. These are not even Democrat ideas or Republican ideas. Not really. These are American ideals that we fought a revolution to secure in this country 250 years ago. I believe deep in my heart those ideals still exist. I am running for president to revive them. E pluribus unum means from many, one. See, we've forgotten in this country. I grew up into a generation where we were taught to celebrate our diversity and our differences so much that we forgot all of the ways we're really just the same as Americans, bound by a common set of ideals. See, our diversity is not our strength. Our true strength is what unites us across our diversity. I'm looking around the room tonight. We got some different shades of melanin, right? I brought one of them. I said that earlier today, too. You're welcome. We got a couple different genders in the room. 2 of them, to be precise. That's great. We're diverse. So what if there's nothing greater that unites us across that diversity? Without that, just think about it. Think about it. We're just a bunch of 2-legged higher mammals with a bunch of different skin colors with 2 legs. Walking around some geographic space that we call a country. Doing what our iPhones tell us to do on a given day. That's what America looks like sometimes to me. But that's not the America we know. America is a vision of what that place can be. Right? A vision that set this country into motion in 1776. We live in a 1776 moment right now. And here's how we're going to get that country back. I'll tell you, it's by all of us. Not just me. All of us. Starting to speak the truth in the open again. You want to know the best measure of our country's health? You want to know what it is? It's not the number of green pieces of paper in our bank account. It's not the number of ballots we cast every November. These things are important, but they're not the most important thing. The best measure of our country's health is the percentage of people who feel free to say what they actually think in public. Right now we're doing poorly. We're going to fix it by all of us starting to speak the truth in the open again. Say in public what you will say at the dinner table. Say it with a spine. Say it with conviction. Say it with respect. But part of respect is that you respect your neighbor enough to tell him what you actually think. That is what this campaign is about. Speaking the truth, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. Speaking the truth, not just to the other side, but to our own side as well. That's how we get this country back. That's what we're doing in this campaign. That's what we're doing tonight. Speak that truth with a spine. God is real. There are 2 genders. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Reverse racism is racism. An open border is not a border. Parents determine the education of their children. The nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to mankind. Capitalism is the best system to lift us up from poverty. There are 3 branches of government in the United States, not 4. And the U.S. Constitution, it is the strongest and greatest guarantor of freedom in human history. That is the truth. We fight for the truth. We stand up for the truth. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope to the free world. And if we can revive that dream over group identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus, not China, is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And that is what we're going to revive to save this great country. Thank you all for coming out tonight. God bless you. God bless your families. And God bless our United States of America. We will not stop until we get this job done. 2024 is 1776. That's how we're going to do this. We're just getting warmed up tonight. We're going to practice what we preach. I want to hear from you guys. I think we got